Hi, all. This is Steve Barrios calling in from Hillsborough, New Jersey, partner in Viridian Energy. Hope all is well, and happy Wednesday. Congratulations for getting on this call, our team call that we have every Wednesday night at 9 o'clock, and we're doing it in a webinar format now to do really some coaching counseling sessions here. They say pictures are 1,000 words, or when you walk through things and people see it done, it builds the more you do it repetition wise or see it, so to say, it builds confidence how to do it. And also it's to help the newcomer that just came aboard, or we got some folks on from Texas they're going live in a few weeks, and it's good to kind of learn the nuts and bolts of this business, and because you're going to teach other people the same, and then kind of go from there. Part of this business is just plain old staying plugged in. Dave Fernandez, are you on the phone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I just want to make sure you're there. Thank you, buddy. We'll get to you in 2 seconds. But part of this business is just simply staying plugged in. And Dave and I talk all the time about this. Staying plugged into these calls, whether it's your Monday Bob Q call, your Cup of Joe O call Tuesday and Thursday. There's some Sunday calls. There's this call. You can listen to them live, or you can listen to a replay. So you always have opportunities. There's a lot of downtime when you're driving too. So, what do you listen to? What are you reading, right? So what do you listen to in the car? Listen to a call, personal development CD, and then go from there, right? Number two, the other thing too is, stay plugged into a meeting. Why wouldn't you go to one once a week? If you could bring somebody great, if not the most important person is yourself. There's no doubt about it. And listen, we got some great meetings all over the state. Look in the back office and the town near you, and there's a lot of good stuff, and all over the countryside, to the state. Dave Fernandez has his meeting up in Peabody every Monday at Red's Kitchen. We do South Plainfield. We do at the South Plainfield Rescue Squad in South Plainfield, New Jersey, every other Thursday. I know Alex Romali, he's also just started a new meeting he's very excited about. His first meeting was tonight. It's at East Boston, I think near the airport. It's the Hilton Garden Inn, so it looks like a great location. And then also, like tomorrow I'm heading down to Delaware. Got a handful of associates getting re-engaged. We got some potential prospects. I'm going to Wilmington, Delaware. So if you know anybody in Wilmington, Delaware, text me or private message me on Facebook, whatever works, or email me, whatever works for you. I'll send you what Panera we're going to be at, and we're starting at 6:30 and kind of go from there. So we have a lot of things to plug into. And the other thing too is, what are you reading? What do you listen to? This is part of the system. There's 2 systems in this business, and personal development is really, really, really important to it. But we're going to get right into the training aspect of this. Dave, before I go into that, you want to mention a couple other, this is Director Dave Fernandez from Massachusetts. Him and I co-host this webinar, this call. Dave, do you want to a couple other nuggets you want to share real quick before we go into the little training we're going to do tonight?
That's good for now.
Okay, awesome, buddy. Thanks so much. All right, so what we're going to do is, we're getting back to basics, and this business, if you look at this new comp plan, or like Dave said the other day, posted on Facebook, if you're not connecting with somebody about this business, you're just not in business. And what do we mean by that? Number one, if you're not showing the program. Number two, if you're not putting in a customer, getting a customer, whether it's electric, gas, or solar. You know what I mean? Dave just mentioned his father just got his solar proposal. That's exciting stuff. You know what I'm saying? If you're not following up with people, that's part of this business, right? And they're the basic steps of connecting with people, talking to people, following up. And the money's in the follow-up at the end of the day. You're simply not in business if you're not doing those 3 basic little things, right? And why wouldn't you? Because the only way we get paid, folks, remember, is by getting customers. And then listen, for the customer, it's free. You just got to educate them the right to choose, or hey, here's solar. If you own your own home, this is how it works. And that's the simplicity of it. And the core of the value statement is going green, energy independence, creating jobs, and it's a win-win-win across the board. That's just a fact. So one of the ways last week we talked heavily about solar, how you put in the solar customer, and we talked about the solar rewards program and the sunroom and SunScout and all this good stuff, and the compensation that goes along with it. And today we're going to get back to basics really real quick on how you put in a customer, right? Now, we're not going to be able able to go all the way through all the steps, but we could talk about the third step and talking points, but it's simply as easy as this, right? So you click here, folks, bam, become a customer, okay? This may be repetitive for some folks. It may be new for some folks. It may build belief for some folks. It may be an aha moment, say, wow, that's how you do that. But this is the simplicity of it. And obviously, we want the customer to put the information in. You can be there with them over the phone, whatever the case may be, and kind of go from there. So you're simply just going to put in the zip code, right? I'm going to put in mine 08844, right? And then it automatically populates the city. And if there's a couple of cities tied to that zip code, it'll give you the option, right? It's just, that's the reality of it. Then number two, you got a decision to make. Are you residential or are you small commercial, right? If you're residential, you just click residential. If you're small commercial, you click small commercial. For argument's sakes, we're going to say, hey, this is a residential customer, right? Then we click residential customer. See how, folks, it just walks you to the next step? Like what next? It just it does it for you, which is great. Do you own? Do you rent? Okay, either way, you could pick a supplier if you pay that energy bill. So I'm going to say, hey, you know what? I own. All right, that's the reality of it. Then you got a choice. If you have a couple utilities that support that city, it'll give you the option like it does for my area. So we have PSE&G or JCP&L, Jersey Central Power and Light. I'm PSE&G. The gas automatically populates because that's the only gas provider in our area for natural gas. And then all we do, folks, is click continue. Okay? That's the simplicity. The folks, if we want to get a revolution, if you want to get points, points are equal to customers. So an electric customer, okay, is 1 point. A natural gas customer is 1 point. And a solar customer is 1 point when it's qualified referral. Then when they get solar, you get another point. So you get 2 points ultimately from solar, which is really cool stuff. And we talked a lot about that now. Now it'll give you your plans that are available in your area, okay, for that particular utility, all right? In PSE&G market, we're all going -5 below. That's the simplicity. To be below the utility, regardless of what the utility rate does for the next 12 months, to lock it and load it. There's a freedom program also, which is very, very good. You got a little rebate on the back end of that over 3 years. There is the term-free program. Some markets it may make sense, some it may not. I mean, I would personally stay away from the term-free unless somebody really wants term-free. That's their deal. If they don't want to lock into contracts, and that's totally up to them. Just make sure it makes sense, okay? And then there's the natural gas side of things, right? As you can see, the only thing that we're offering right now is a 5% below the utility, which is awesome for PSE&G. Then the cool thing here, since I clicked, I own my own home, it gives you the option to do solar too. So you can literally, if let's say in a market where there's electric, gas, and solar, like my state is, New Jersey, or my area where I live. So what I would do is I would click here. I would click here. And then I'll just say, hey, we're going to get a risk-free consultation for solar, right? So you're getting 3 in 1 on one boom. Then you got the go greener and go cleaner. If they want to, pay an additional, and this, folks, this is just in lieu of our 100% that we used to have, folks. All right, remember the the electricity is we voluntarily do 50% plus what the state mandation is, okay? And then the natural gas, we have the 25% carbon offset, okay? We no longer have that 100% green. If they want to go green 100%, that's where this whole program comes in, and it's worth a quarter point each. Okay, go greener and go cleaner, and they would bill you $4.99. So you still get the same rate that you just locked into. You get the -5, okay, and then you'll just get a separate bill from Viridian each month, and go from there. Okay, so what we're going to say is, just for argument's sake, to make this cleaner, so to say, no pun intended, we're going to say no thanks, right? And boom, we go from here. Then what it does, okay. Were you referred by an independent Viridian associate? Since they went through my site, so when you give them the link or you sit down with them, make sure you go down let me just see here real quick. Make sure you check your page and make sure you're on Christine Barris, that's my wife's name, or Go Green for Kids site, okay? So, and it'll populate right here. If it doesn't, you want to make sure you put the associate's name in there, or just re-put the site and go from there. Then what it does, which is very, very cool, which I love, it gives like an overview of what you just selected. So there's no mistakes. Boom. And it shows you your -5, your standard, your rate, your 12 months. Now, if you happen to end this within the 12 months, there is a termination fee there. It's $150, okay, which is pretty competitive to the market, okay? Then the same thing for natural gas, okay? And then your solar, okay? Viridian Solar will contact you. And so when you put in your information within 24 to 48 hours, quite honestly, it's within hours nowadays. So I've done a handful of solar within the last couple of weeks. Somebody from Viridian Solar Desk is calling you, which is really cool stuff. And then what you do is you simply just put the person's name, first and last name, on the way it appears on the energy bill. Then you put right here. Then you put the, whatever number they like. You pick English, Spanish, whatever number you like, whether it's cell phone or home number. And alternative numbers is optional. Please confirm that Viridian could share a notification with you about your account or existing products. You put yes or no. It's totally up to them. Okay, it's as simple as that. You put their email address. You put their service address. Okay, with here. Now, if their service address is the same as their billing address, you just click same as service address. And most are. What is an example of that would be different? Let's say this is a rental property for somebody, right? And the bill goes to one location, right? And the service address is the address of that location, right? So you would then put the service address and then the billing address. But most of the time, just reconfirm it, it's both, right? Boom, you go from there. Then it asks you the question now, have you lived at my current address for less than 6 months? You answer that appropriately. And then there's the third-party identification piece here, which is cool. Either A, they get two choices. Number one, they put their social security number in. Okay? If they put the social security number in, they have to put their name exactly the way it's spelled on their social security card. Okay? It's as simple as that. Then number two, so let me show you how it shows that, it explains it. Okay? Very simple. Then number two, your driver's license. If you want to do that option, some people say, I'm not very comfortable putting my social security in anywhere, but well, let's do your driver's license number. So then you do your date of birth, your driver's license number, your state, and then the name that appears on your driver's license, and it automatically verifies them right through the system. If something doesn't line up, you cannot go to the next step. And simply when you hit continue, the next step will be, it recaps the product that you have. There's a terms and condition little box. You scroll all the way down to the box, to the end of the box. Then there's a little box below that. You just check that. Then you just type, the customer just types their name in and submit, and that is it. That's the simplicity of it. So then traditionally within 2 to 5 business days, the information gets put into our system, gets sent to the utility. The utility confirms that that person is a utility customer. That's why you want to put all the information that's on that bill, exactly the way it's on that bill, into the system, and then it sends it back to Viridian. Hey, this person's confirmed, and you go qualified. And that's the simplicity of it. Hey, Dave, did you want to add anything else to that?
Yeah, especially when you're putting their name information in. If their name is, Joe Smith, right, and last name is Smith, but on their electric bill, gas bill, whatever the case may be, it's spelled Smeth. That's the way you want to put it into the system. It's the same exact way that it's on the electric bill.
Exactly. Absolutely. That's perfect. Yep. Great point. And yeah, so that's the simplicity. Now, most of us have seen the process. The process. We've gone through the process. We put our own bills in, and I would encourage you, if you didn't support a Viridian associate prior to coming to the business, put your own. You're going to get paid on it. Put your own bill in your business. You know what I mean? That's the reality of it, and that's how you learn how the whole process goes, and how you learn somewhat of the business, and then go from there. So that's that. So what we're going to do from here is, I'm going to log into the system. And I'm going to pull up, give me 1 second here. Okay, what I love about this, it goes and you get your little, it's thinking right now, and you go right into your new vCenter back office, and we're going to navigate a little bit back there. For some reason, it's going a little slow. And it shows you, right? So we all know those folks that started prior to Power Up, our second revolution started this past Saturday. I already have one customer in there, and it's a solar customer, and they got qualified yesterday, so that's cool. So I only need 4 more points to get a revolution, which is awesome stuff, and I'm definitely going to get that. So it always reminds you, and it shows you the expiration date, which is really cool stuff. And listen, Dave and I were talking about this before, man. This is how we get paid. Dave, do you want to just elaborate real quick, or just a couple of nuggets on getting revolutions and why it's so important?
Yeah, it's very important to do this because you want to show that that habit of getting customers yourself when you're building your team, because your team is going to want to duplicate what you do. Okay, if you go out and get 20 customers, 15 customers, whatever the case may be, now it's considered points, so it could be 2, 1, whatever. But your team's going to want to duplicate what you did. Right? If you bring people into the business, they're going to want to do the same thing. And in this part, this is what's great about Viridian. We're not on auto ship, right? It's not, product-based business is usually, mostly all associates that are on auto ship, okay? 80% of the time, it's usually the associates that are on auto ship, and it's not customers. It's different with us, okay? We have over 250,000 customers with 22,000 associates, and not even counting the ones that are working it out of the 22,000. So we're not paid on, recruiting or, paid on getting associates into the business. We get paid on customer base. So it's very, very important that you understand of why going out and getting customers on a monthly basis. That's why Viridian did this. So we wouldn't stop like leaders, just stop getting leaders, because you know what? I have 25, I have 30. That can take me all the way to ambassador with the old comp plan. The new comp plan, you can make an extra $100 a month or more every single month for the rest of your Viridian career. So it's very important to start, those habits of getting leaders, going out there and signing up customers and duplicate that with your team as well.
That's a great point. It's interesting, and just to go to this, I showed this business to a young kid last week. He did an STP, and he's I think he's like 20, 25, 26, whatever it is. And I said to him, and he saw interest in it. Wasn't sure if the business model, like building a business, was for him because he didn't have the time or whatever the case he was saying, and that's fine. And I just simply said to him, I said, let me share this with you just by simply getting customers, right? How this works. I said, what is your average, annual increase? And I know what that number is. It's 3%, right? So that's just a fact. He goes 3%. I said, yeah. And I said, that's the norm, right? And if not less than that, quite honestly, in the corporate world. So I said 3%. So next year, you're going to get a $1,200 raise. He goes, yes. He goes, pretty much, because he does a good job, whatever the case is, got good reviews, yada, yada, yada. I said, well, how about this? How about just going out and creating your raise every year just by simply getting customers? Just what Dave just said. Go out and get 5, and I won't even count your first 28 days that you make $600, right? Or make $200 off your first 5, right? But just go out and get 5 points per month. And I kind of explained to him what points, how it all worked. And you make an extra $100 a month. You created your own raise, and you have to worry about anybody else. And then on top of that, you're getting customers that ultimately you're going to get paid residual income on, as long as they're a customer. Then if you throw solar into the mix, I was telling him, I said, there's a whole different bonus structure to that. That's where his eyes kind of lit up. I got to be honest with you. When I talked about the solar, that you can make up to $1,000 per contract, and then 20 years of guaranteed residual income on a monthly basis. So, great point, Dave. And so he's very interested in the business, and hopefully he's coming in. He said in the beginning of November. We'll see what happens and kind of go from there. So, great point. All right, so let's get out of there. So that's revolution. We understand that's important to get customers. That's how we get paid, and that's how everyone builds their business. And we teach that behavior, just like Dave said, because people will duplicate what you do, and then kind of go from there. And Dave, where did you want to go next? Do you want me to do you want to do a little navigate, or do you want, because we have about 7 more minutes or so? Do you want me to pass it over to you, or do you want me to go to a certain area and we'll just kind of talk a little bit?
Just pull up the duplicate.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, folks, that's a great point. Yeah, yeah. So here, there's our new, if you go to Business Resource, if you're at Power Up, you got the booklets that they were selling, which is awesome, awesome stuff, right? But there's also in our back office, and it's great for training purposes. And we're going to go to two areas. We're going to go to Business Resources, but then we'll go to Viridian University next. But go under Opportunity Resources, okay? And then you go here, and then Jump Start Guide, okay? Okay, boom. And here we go. And everyone has this access in your back office, okay? Let me go here. All right, Dave, there you go.
Yeah. So with the duplicate, this is very important. If you're veteran in network marketing, or just a beginner of network marketing, you have to follow a system. And just in like any industry, we have to follow a system that other people been through it, know it. They went through like obstacles and different paths on building their business. Okay. And the leaders, and all the experts at Viridian came together and did this duplicate 8, right? So in any network marketing company, you have where you have your system to follow. Okay, define your why is 1. We're going to go through this real quick. 2, make a list. 3, invite. 7, 6, stay plugged in, right? You got 7, that is follow up. 5 is follow up. 4 is share the story. 8, repeat and grow. So what's important to you? Why did you join this business, right? Keep that in mind when you hear a no, right? Because today I heard 3 no's, okay? They said it wasn't for them. They didn't want to do the business. That's fine. That's great. It doesn't bother me because my why is strong, okay? When you're sitting down with people and you're about to show them the video, and after the video, ask them why Viridian? What would you want to do with this? Ask them those questions and just follow the duplicate 8. Take a picture of this and keep it on your phone or whatever. Follow the system because it works. If you sit down with somebody and show them the video and they say, okay, I'll get back to you, already set up the date to follow up with them. Say, hey, today is Wednesday. I showed you the video. What's a good day to follow up with you? Next Monday at 2 o'clock, I'll give you a call because then you're not chasing anybody. You already set up that second appointment to speak to them over the phone or, set up another appointment with them and just follow the process. Okay. We, as veterans in network marketing, I've been doing this for, 20 years now. And you get into a little slump. You get into not doing, following the process. So you gotta, kick yourself in the butt and turn around and say, okay, let's do this. Let's go back. Let's get back into the path and do what the leaders did. Because why try to invent another wheel? It's the same story with any company. Why would you try to invent your own thing when all the leaders already created something for us to follow, right? So keep that in mind when you're building your business. Just follow all these steps, and believe me, you will get a lot more success. So I remember Frank Marone saying this in a meeting once. I don't know if it was here or in New Jersey, but a lady told him that she wasn't building her business. She had no customers and no associates joining her business. So Frank Marone set up an appointment with her, sat down with her to say, come to my office, we're going to talk about, what's going on. And she goes, Frank asked her, he goes, okay, so how many STPs did you do in the past month? And she looks at Frank and she goes, 0. He goes, that's the problem right there. You're not showing the video to anybody. So the only thing you got to do now is go out, write your list down, call everybody, start doing appointments showing the STP, okay? After that meeting, she became director within a month, okay? So she did that after she sat down with Frank because what was the problem? The problem was she wasn't showing the plan to anybody, right? I've said this before on our on our Facebook fan page. If you're not showing your business, if you're not showing the video, if you're not showing the nonprofit video or whatever solar video exactly, you're not building your business. Okay, you got to follow these steps. You know, let's use Steve Berrios, right? He's a partner now with Viridian Energy. Never did network marketing before, and he's built a successful business because he followed what the leaders did. Okay? He followed the system. He made the list. He made the phone calls, the three-way calls, etc. That's what we want to do to build our business. That's what you need to do when you sign someone up into the business. Sit down with them, show them this, have them watch the videos in the back office, sit down with them, have them sign up their first meter with them. Just don't sign them up and sit them down, you know, and let them go by themselves. Be that teacher, be that coach. Grab them, sit down with them, and show them this stuff because it's very important in the first 48 hours of your associate signing into the business to learn this stuff and for you to sit down with them and teach them and coach them on building the business and taking it to the next level. Me and my goal is to sit somebody down, tell them, listen, I need about an hour or 2 hours of your time when we sign you up because I want to go through your list. At 100 people, I want to show you the back office, and I want to sign up your meter. And if you own a home, I want to show you how to put the solar meter in as well, like Steve just did. So that's very critical on building your business with every single associate that you bring into the business.
Wow, Dave, that was awesome stuff, buddy. Priceless and a quick snapshot on the duplicate process. Just two things I wanted to highlight there. Number one, don't hesitate to share your story on why you got involved. That really connects with people as much as we want to hear on why they want to get involved, right? So number one. Number two, I'm going to go to this setting goals. And it's funny because Donna French posted what I call her vision board. And she's ambassador in the business on Facebook the other day. And I have an enVision board at my hotel also. And it's a big board. It covers a large portion of my office wall, and we update it on a daily basis. And I'm going to do the same now for my Viridian business. And because have it in your face, buy a little whiteboard. You go to probably the dollar store to or Five Below. I've seen them in there, and I'm going to get myself a little whiteboard, and I'm going to say, hey, how many revolutions in a week? And I'll break down. I'll do it weekly and update it. How many associates I'm going to show the program to? How many new associates am I going to enroll? What's my goal on my rank and my pay advance, and then how much money do I want to make, and put, set times and limits to it and set goals, but definitely write them down and have them kind of in your face, because a vision board keeps you plugged in. And have fun with it. Don't make it feel like work. Just say, hey, I didn't get a revolution this week. I'll get it next week. I got 3 this week. I'll get 2 more next week, but then I'm gonna add 5 more because I want to get 2 a month. Whatever your goal is. But the big portion here is, connecting with people, showing the plan, getting customers. You know what I'm saying? So how many people you want to connect with a week to show the plan? Is it 3? Is it 5? Whatever it is, write it down, and then have little empty boxes underneath it on how many associates you want to roll in a month. Is it 5 a month, 2 a month, 10 a month? Whatever your number is, write it down. You go at your pace. The faster you go, the more success you'll have, and you'll build momentum, and people tend to follow momentum. You know what I mean? And kind of go from there. So a little point there. All right, Dave, great job tonight, buddy. I think it was a great webinar. And I just do you have any parting words before I do the quote of the day, bud?
No, but just good luck, everybody, and let's get those three-way calls on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Everyone's here to help everyone, which is the awesome thing about this. So real quick, real simple stuff. Success simply comes from going failure to failure without the loss of enthusiasm, folks. It's that simple. Until next time, until next Wednesday at 9 o'clock, I appreciate you getting on the call. It was nice having you all. And
Unmuted.
And have a great night. All right, thank you all, and have a good night. Dave, thank you so much for everything, buddy. Greatly appreciate it.
Good night, everybody.
All right, good night, everybody.